In the second part of this special double episode, we're going to be talking about Mr. Fusion. Doc, tell them about Mr. Fusion.
Your second option is this, the Mr. Fusion Home Energy Reactor. Now, my future counterpart and I spent our entire family fortune building a nuclear reactor, and he swaps it out for this, which in the future you can buy anywhere. And what does this say? Made in Japan! Oh, great Scott!
Welcome to the second part of this special double episode with our good friend Michael Scheffe, DeLorean Construction Coordinator from Back to the Future and very talented designer.
Thank you, sir. It's crazy to be here. I just can't believe it. I've never seen so many Mr. Fusions in my life. It's unbelievable.
And each one of these has a really great story. This Mr. Fusion was on the A car when we took possession of it during the restoration. It's a replica and not screen used. This one, the base is actually screen used, and it was on the car when it was smashed by the train. It's interesting. I'm not sure what this is, but something. This one's kind of infamous now, called by the fan community the stovepipe Mr. Fusion because it's 9 feet tall, and it was on the A car at Universal Studios for many years. Sunstar photographed and measured the car, and they made a perfect replica of the stovepipe.
Looks kind of neat sticking up so high like a fin back there.
It is. It's like the jaws of Time Machine.
Yeah, exactly.
And this one is actually from the ride. And then finally, this one is the Diamond Select Mr. Fusion, and this one is incredibly accurate. That was a lot of Mr. Fusions.
It's like a forest of fusion. It's amazing.
This is an actual Singer Libroscope memory core housing, and that is what was used for the bottom. The Krupp's coffee grinder you had something to do with.
Oh yeah. This is the genius of Bob Gale, you know. It's like people drank terrible coffee in their houses for years. And then in comes Mr. Coffee, and it turns out you could get great coffee in your own house without having to go to a restaurant. So here's this idea, Mr. Fusion. You could have energy in your own house without having to invade a country or burn any fossil fuels or anything. Throw in some banana peels and a beer can maybe. What a beautiful idea, just to get energy from nothing.
I need fuel. Go ahead, quick, get in the car.
When they said we want to have a Mr. Fusion, I thought, well, you know, there should be some kind of coffee maker part on there. But I looked at the coffee makers and they didn't look that great. And I saw this Krupp's coffee grinder. Anyway, how do you make a Mr. Fusion? You take a coffee grinder and you take this nondescript casting. I don't have any idea what that was from. And you take the Singer Libroscope bottom part and you put them together with a lot of Bondo and a lot of craftsmanship and a lot of worry about time. And time, you know, we have no concept of time, but it's important when you're making the movie. And bang, there's Mr. Fusion.
This is one of my favorite pictures, by the way, of the Mr. Fusion in progress.
Little piece of history.
Yeah, I love this one a lot.
This is for the guys in the shop, and it's so that the art department can say, yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking. We wanted it to be Westinghouse, but Westinghouse wasn't interested, and this is just sketched with a pen, right? And even when I did the layout here with press type, I did it with a Westinghouse logo, but they didn't really want to have their name connected with it, so you can see the inspiration for the double W, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I believe that we welded on these things in back to make the hinge, I believe. And then, of course, we had this silly little catch in front. This is from my portfolio from 30 years ago with little illustrations of, yeah, this is what's in your brain, and then you make it real, right? With plenty of help.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to be on set?
I saw more of Bob Gale and Bob Z before things got delivered to the set, right? First AD would knock on his trailer and it's like, oh, I got sketches of the big speaker and amp or the dog food opener or whatever it is. And they were always really friendly and really happy to look at your work and positive about stuff. So imagine, you know, that's such a surprise, right?
Totally.
It was fantastic. Kevin spent most of the time with the props on set, you know, but when we dragged stuff in or unveiled it or whatever, sometimes I was there.
Nice.
Yeah, it was an amazing, just amazing privilege to be on that show.
So many cool things. I mean, you know, like the DeLorean Time Machine was just one of them, but I mean, there's so many, you know, the dog food opener.
Dog food opener.
The mind reading.
Right, the brainwave analyzer.
Yeah.
I worked on the little town where the little wind-up car blows up. Yeah, that was really it was a really fun show. I've got sketches of all that stuff still. Who ever knew any of this would happen, right?
Are you ready to build Mr. Fusion in 1/8 scale?
Second time's the charm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Awesome. This is surreal for me, watching you build the tiny Mr. Fusion.
It's surreal for me too, just so you know, right? So, you know, I thought, now, you're probably going to pull my license to be an official guy, but I thought I would look at the instructions before I started.
Oh no,
Oh, never mind. Oh, I didn't really need that. Okay, it's sandwiched into place.
Perfect.
Now we need a top.
Full scale.
Power crumbs. Okay, we have
Nice.
hingitude. Okay, we have secured it. And last comes the latch. I'm going to put the latch pieces together here. Okay, so that's good. When the little screws are in place and the little springs are in there, you can feel that just a little bit of spring tension is necessary to release the hatch cover. Now then, we're going to attach this to the base.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we have a little Mr. Fusion now. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh wow, look at that.
Everyone who builds a part also signs the part. Standard 3-ball game. No warm-ups. You're playing against every co-host that's come before you or will come after you. Winner take all.
Well, no expectations, and that's the way you always have to
Okay.
start, right? So here we
Ready?
go. Yeah.
Let's go for it.
There you go.
It just means that you're better at other things. And I'm glad you are.
Well, it's a privilege to do this, and it's the second time I think I've played a pinball machine in my life, so yeah, clearly there's a lot to know, right?
There are other parts, and I'd love to have you return.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Anytime, Joe. It's a privilege. Thank
And
you.
I will see you in the future.
Oh, right. Even if I have no concept of time.
I know, I don't.
In the next episode of No Concept of Time, Joe and the team will be discussing the left front suspension and brakes. Things apparently move a lot faster in the future. If you want to build your own time machine, click the Eaglemoss link in the description. And be sure to like this transmission and subscribe. Your future may depend on it.